Denny, a waiver situation that kind of like no one wants to talk about, like everyone has to talk about because it might be where the running back action this week is the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. James Conner seems to be truly day to day. It doesn't seem like he picked up a serious injury when he injured his ankle early in the third quarter, but he couldn't shake it off. He got retaped up. He tried to get loose. He couldn't come back in the game. He has a really extensive history of ankle issues. So I would say he's questionable at best for week 3. There's a chance he plays in week 3, but it's one of those waiver situations where we're going to be putting in bids on Darrel Williams and Eno Benjamin, even if we really don't want to. It's the way I just laid it out. I think it's pretty clear it's not a situation where you're going to be blowing like a huge chunk of your fab budget, but just who would you prioritize? How much maybe are we talking about spending here in the Cardinals backfield?
Not a lot, because Benjamin and Darrel Williams, the mentor, don't forget the mentor,
mentor to me.
Yeah, they're going to split duties here, but I will say that I prefer Darrel Williams because he seems to have the short yardage, including the goal line role. He punched in a short touchdown against the Raiders after Connor left the game. We know that he can be a decent pass catching back. He's had that role in Kansas City for a while. He basically split pass routes with Eno Benjamin after James Conner left the game. I would think that Darrel Williams fits the sort of James Conner prototype better than Eno Benjamin. I know the analytics folks, they love Eno Benjamin. They love him like a son. But sometimes it just doesn't happen that way, okay? Like sometimes it doesn't matter that he stands out in every category. It only matters what the team wants. And so I would think that Darrel Williams will be, somewhat of a lead back going forward if Conner misses. And I was surprised that Connor's injury wasn't worse. I mean, maybe the team is not being absolutely truthful about what's happening there, but it looked bad. Like that injury looked bad.
Well, and it's pretty. I mean, the adrenaline was pumping, and he still couldn't come back into the game. That usually suggests a high ankle sprain.
That's what I thought.
So maybe it's kind of thing where he doesn't need like an MRI. Oh, I think he is getting I think he did get an MRI, but it's usually if you've got enough adrenaline going, if you don't have a high ankle sprain, you re-enter the game.
Right.
So it could be kind of a situation where even if James Conner is cleared and plays in week 3, he's not going to handle anything close to his normal workload. And both backs need to be added. I totally agree that Darrel Williams is the priority add. He's a pretty good approximation for all the reasons you laid out of the James Conner role. And Eno got a little run. Darrel Williams even had the long run.
He did
on Sunday. Man, you were talking about a Vision Quest game, by the way. I had to cover that game.
Yeah.
And it was the most Cardinals comeback ever because to come back from 20-0 usually have to be perfect. The Cardinals came back from 20-0 and were still just making like endless mistakes. Endless mistakes. It was a horrifying loss for the Raiders.
I don't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand because every time red zone would flash to the Cardinals, it would be like another brutal mistake for the Cardinals.
No. And most of them, AJ Green, he dropped a touchdown in the end zone. He dropped the ball at the 1 yard line. He erased a big Kyler Murray run with a holding penalty. Yes. Another drop, I think on a 4th down. The guy, he's just washed.
I feel bad for him. I mean, the Zoomers will never know that AJ Green was an elite receiver in the NFL.
So he dropped literally 2 touchdowns, and I may have tweeted something a little negative about his game. Yep. I may have tweeted that he was one of the worst players in the NFL now, and not really quite sure why it was necessary that I share that thought with the world, but I did. And then he caught the 2-point conversion, and I was getting a lot of this aged well. I'm like, dude, it has nothing to do with how this one's aging. Did you see the previous? Plus, he barely caught the 2-point conversion.
Well, hey, I have you topped. I said that Tyreek was tired of being on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And then he caught 2 long touchdowns in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you were really workshopping that narrative in our Slack chat too.
I was because here's the thing. He was moping around for the entire first half. So
he was. I mean, don't worry, there's going to be more Tyreek moping this year, by the way.
I mean, let me tell you what Tyreek doesn't like. He does not like Jalen Waddle scoring touchdowns. I can promise you that.
No. And it's too, I think now there's a belief a little bit now that, hey, this receiver core is big enough for the 2 of them. But they were down 28-7 when it became big enough for the 2 of them. And they're not going to have 3 touchdown comeback mode every week. We're going to see about these Miami Dolphins folks. And we're going to see right now in their backfield. And I'm going to go off script.
All right.
I'm going to ask you about Raheem Mostert. Is he the priority running back ad this week? Did I read your column correctly, or am I misremembering?
Yeah, I mean, he's available in about 60% of leagues. So I'm sorry if you drafted him in the 6th round and you're raging.
In my league, you went in the 8th round.
He was my keeper.
Yeah, and now I can legally burn down your house. So
per the 19th Amendment. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I covered that game. Mostert was the only Dolphins running back to see any run or any touches in the first 2 or 3 possessions for Miami.
Good grief.
Yeah. He out carried Chase Edmonds 11-5 when all was said and done. They split pass route running duty, which I think is significant because it's like, well, okay, Mostert could be the early down back, Edmonds could be the pass catching guy. It wasn't like that. The thing that complicates this is that Chase Edmonds was by several measures the single worst running back in the NFL in week 1. Okay. Left so many yards on the field per the analytics, right? I'm not going to bore you with the numbers.
Wrong. They're never wrong.
Right. Ask Brandon Staley.
Yes. I almost made a Brandon Staley joke.
Who is now Bill Parcells, by the way. And
he did. He became Bill Parcells.
So Edmonds, but the thing is, Edmonds actually, he was good against the Ravens, and in his limited opportunity, 33 yards on 5 carries. He was this close to breaking off an extremely long touchdown in the 4th quarter. He looked explosive. So I don't know, like, you're going to get Mostert. Okay, I have the Dolphins starting running back. Awesome. And he's going to see 9 carries. So I would be careful. There's no hugely important running back ad this week.
No, there's not. Which is a good sign. It means there weren't many injuries. And what I think of the Dolphins is yesterday was just Mike McDaniel, like, officially, like, flying up the black flag of Kyle Shanahan, and like, this is how we're going to run this ship. And like, for reasons discernible only to him, this is why this running back features this week. This is why this running back features that week. And they're like, it's far from a done deal.
Right.
In the Dolphins backfield. Then I do think Chase Edmonds will probably still have the most touches, for no other reason than Raheem Mostert will get hurt.
Yeah. But, don't cut Edmonds, by the way.
Yeah. It's just, this was the Kyle Shanahan influence. But then also you see Mike McDaniel kind of like trying to break loose of that and letting his quarterback throw for 470 yards. Whereas like Kyle Shanahan just died a little bit inside.
I know. Kyle Shanahan would have never done that. I promise you. Like they were throwing on like 3rd and inches. Like it was a pass frenzy.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.